Look, as some of you may or may not know, in the early Christian years, there were many leaders of the early church who thought that Christianity should be a new religion, which it's not, unfortunately, for you. And the reason it'll never triumph is because it insists on shackling itself to the terrible books of the Jewish Old Testament. Now, great Christian thinkers like Marcion was the best known. There were Marcionite churches all over the Middle East, just for the study and worship of the message of the Nazarene. But it was decided no. The whole Nazarene story had to reverse engineer and prove the truth of the Old Testament books as well. And with this insufferable burden, you've saddled yourself with an unbelievable and wicked religion. It's a pity, I sometimes think. But I think there are deformities to the pure Christian religion too, and he mentioned the name I give to one of them. A doctrine that I think is strictly immoral, the idea of vicarious redemption. Now, though I say I don't think there's any historical definite proof of this person's existence, because all the accounts of him are so discrepant, there are so many of them that it's enough to persuade me that there must have been some such figure. And it's not that unlikely that there'd be a charismatic rabbi wandering in a region that was hungry for messiahs and kept on hoping to find them. It's not at all unlikely that there was one, or that he would have got in trouble with the Romans and been, as people were who get in trouble with the Romans, very harshly treated. This does not prove, it doesn't even suggest that his birth was divine, or that his father was God, or that his mother was a virgin. None of these things are remotely provable. They're not even really arguable. They can only be asserted. But suppose they are. I then have to be told that the torture and human sacrifice of somebody, which if I'd been present, it would have been my duty to try and prevent, which I did not ask for, over which I have no control, that took place thousands of years, according to some, before I was born, commits me, and I have no choice in the matter, and that my sins are forgiven by this human sacrifice. Now, what's wrong with that? If I like you enough or love you enough, I can pay your debt. I say there was folly on your part, but I'll pay it for you. In extreme cases, people have been known to volunteer to take other people's place in prison, or even, one or two very famous cases, on the scaffold. They'll say, I'll do that for you. I'll do it for love, or I'll do it for suffering humanity. But that's the most they can do. And it's not bad. What they can't do is take away your sins, because that would be to take away your responsibility. I can't say you didn't steal or lose that money that I'm having to pay now. I can't say that this course of folly didn't get you into prison. It did, and now look what you're doing to me. I can't relieve you of that. I can't wash you white as snow and make you new again. It's more than can be promised and more than should be promised. Vicarious redemption is scapegoating. It's throwing your sins onto an animal. It's an old primitive practice from the Middle East. It doesn't deserve the attention of civilized or thoughtful people. So anyway, it's pervert. Let's admit, it's kindly offered to me. I give all these objections. I think it's highly implausible. I don't really believe the story. I didn't ask for it, and having considered it, I would rather carry on living, trying to lead a decent life without it. Okay, thanks. But thanks for asking. Oh no, sorry, you didn't hear us right the first time. It wasn't an offer. You refuse it on pain of death. Excuse me, I won't be talked to in that tone of voice. Something about me. I hope something about some of you too. What was that? I'm not free to refuse this offer? You're making me an offer I can't decline. Was that a threat? Are you saying that if I turn away from this lamb's blood, from which I'm supposed to be washed, and say I don't think it will clean me, say, well, that means an eternity of torture, you know. I hope you better take that into account before you consider our offer of eternal love. No, no, no. This is North Korea. This is celestial dictatorship. This is the worship that only a slave could take part in.